Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's hard to believe that we are at the end of the year, but here we are. This is my top 10 list of 2022 for Star Wars The Black Series action figures. Let's get started. At the beginning, as it's usually done, here are few honorable mentions. Saw Gerrera from Rogue One, Echo from The Bad Batch, Migs Mayfield from The Mandalorian, and Grand Inquisitor from Obi-Wan Kenobi series. All of them amazing figures, but they were short of making it into the top 10 list, at least for me. Okay, so now, let's move forward to the list. At number 10, it's Figrin Dan from A New Hope. This is a simple figure that you probably won't be putting in some action poses, but it is a character that's a member of Cantina Band from A New Hope. And so, a lot of collectors were hoping that Hasbro will make this figure, and 2022 was a year when they finally did. This is a great army builder if you want to complete the whole band in which all members look the same. The figure has wrist ball joints, and that is something completely new for the line. It would be amazing if that would become a standard for other figures as well. The figure also comes with few different instruments, so you have options for your display, especially if you get more than one of these guys. I think it was Landspeeder Luke who asked me in a comment on one of my videos if I'll be making a posing video for this figure, and at the time I wasn't able to get it. But recently, if you watched my unboxing video, My Hero Store got them in stock and they had a discount, so I was able to grab 3 of these for a great price. So Landspeeder Luke, if you are watching this, that Figrin Dan posing video is coming. And for the rest of you guys, if you don't know about Landspeeder Luke, go check out his channel. He usually gets new Black Series figures early and makes reviews, and also makes a lot of cool customs and 3D prints. So if you're into those kinds of things, go check out his channel. At number 9, it's Fennec Shand from the Book of Boba Fett. A great looking figure, great likeness to the actress. You can get a lot of dynamic action poses out of her, so you can have a great display. And speaking about display, you can use her either for your Book of Boba or the Mandalorian display, since she practically looks the same in both shows. There are a lot of nicely sculpted details on her outfit. She comes with a removable helmet and her articulation is great. It would be even better if she came with a bottle of drink for that Boba throne room scene, but this is still a great figure. At number 8, it's Reva, third sister. Sometimes you don't have to like the character in the show to be able to appreciate the quality of an action figure of that character. For me, this is one of those cases. The way that they handled the character in the show just didn't do it for me, but on the other hand, what Hasbro did with this figure for me is 100% on point. Head sculpt is beautiful, the hair is done so well, the outfit and soft goods cape, amazing. I love when any of these companies gives us soft goods capes because it just gives you a lot more options for dynamic poses. Reva comes with her double-bladed Inquisitor lightsaber and the blades are removable. She also comes with another version of that saber, but cut in 2 parts so that she can duel with Darth Vader, and making a posing video for this figure was just so much fun. At number 7, it's Aayla Secura. In last few years, we had so many releases from recent Disney Plus shows, especially The Mandalorian, while more and more collectors started to ask themselves, where are all the character representations from prequels? We are yet to see in the Black Series line essential characters like Yoda or the main villain, Darth Sidious. And what about all those separatist droids other than Roger droids? And so it was a big deal when Hasbro finally decided to give us one of the prequel Jedis, Aayla Secura, who is here representing Attack of the Clones, even though she had more screen time in the Clone Wars animated series. This is what fans wanted, and this release gives us hope that this is the beginning of Hasbro's return to the prequel era. Aayla looks great in her figure form. It's a simple release by Hasbro and she doesn't come with much, just her lightsaber, figure, but the paint and articulation looks good. We're happy to include her in our collection, but I think that the greatness of this figure lies in the fact that she comes from a prequel era. At number 6, it's Boba Fett, Throne Room from the Book of Boba Fett. Now, Hasbro released a lot of Boba Fetts in last 2 years, and almost all of them were priced as a deluxe or exclusive sets. There was a lot of muddy water in Hasbro's attempt to justify these prices to the public, but we all know that it's just a simple matter of Boba's popularity in the Star Wars community. All that being said, this Throne Room Boba was a great release. As probably many of you, I still don't agree that this is a deluxe set, but it still doesn't mean that this isn't a great figure. It is. It has a removable helmet with a face sculpt underneath that is good enough. Paint looks good and articulation is great. You can get a lot of badass poses out of this guy. You can check out my posing video if you want and see that I had a lot of fun posing this Boba. But my gripes for this being a deluxe set are that it should have come with blast effects for the jetpack, flamethrowing effects like the one that came with Return of the Jedi Boba, and it should have even come with an effect for launching a rocket out of his jetpack. To me, that would justify the deluxe price, but it is what it is. This is still a great figure and it will be on my shelf probably until next year when the new Boba with Throne by SH Figure Arts comes out. At number 5 is Cobb Vanth, the Marshal from The Mandalorian. Another deluxe set for which I could say almost the same things that I said for previous Boba Fett. But unlike Boba, this is the first time we got this new character in the Black Series line, and that for me puts him above Boba on this top 10 list. There are also other things. The head sculpt looks really good, paint on the whole figure looks vibrant, and so this guy has presence on the shelf. Articulation is great and you can put him in all kinds of cool poses. Just a great release by Hasbro, but I still don't agree on that deluxe price. At number 4 is Dark Trooper from The Mandalorian, and again another deluxe set, 3 in a row on this list. But what puts this figure above previous two for me is the fact that it's a new sculpt, larger character, has interchangeable hands, and on top of that it's an army builder. This figure poses like a champ. Being a droid, his articulation is so good. It has a soft plastic overlay on the upper body so that it doesn't hinder the articulation, and even though it's an all-black figure, it is so well made. They gave him that metallic shine so that he really looks like a droid made out of metal. I mean, even the small red parts of the figure, like the eyes and the small details on the chest, are so well painted. As I already said, there are swappable fisted hands in this set. They just had to be in there because they are crucial for scenes from the Mandalorian show, and they also included jet blast effects for the pec holes on the feet so that you can get him in some flying poses. Of course, there is no flying stand here, but we almost never get any stands in this line. I love this figure. At one point, this was a figure of the year for me. The only reason that next 3 figures are above this one are that they represent characters that I love and that they are not deluxe sets. So at number 3 is Death Watch Mandalorian from The Mandalorian. Now this figure represents a revolution for all Mandalorian figures in the line. It's a new sculpt that I'm sure Hasbro will use over and over and over again, and I really don't mind that. It's a great sculpt, by far superior to what we had with the Jango Fett body that they previously used for Mandalorians. In fact, they already did reuse this body on that Ex-Vows figure from The Mandalorian. This Death Watch Mandalorian is also an army builder that, unlike Dark Trooper, is not a deluxe set and so costs you less to army build. The figure represents all the new and great things that Hasbro is doing with their design design and engineering on sculpt and articulation for Black Series figures. It could have easily been at number 1 spot of this list, but for me, top 2 spots go to next 2 figures because of characters that they represent. So, at number 2 is Ahsoka Tano from The Mandalorian. Man, I was so happy when they gave us this version of Ahsoka. Loved the way that they portrayed her in live action, and Hasbro did an amazing job on their figure. For me, the face sculpt is on point. Articulation is fantastic. The best Ahsoka figure in the line so far, articulation-wise. Previous 2 are always falling over. She comes with her 2 lightsabers with white blades that are removable. She doesn't come with her poncho, which is a shame, but that's okay. That poncho would probably make her a deluxe figure by the standards that we saw. They did include it in later 3-pack with Grogu and Mando. Me, I gave her poncho from Island Journey Rey, and you can see that in my posing video. It fits perfectly on this Ahsoka. So, great likeness, great sculpt, paint and articulation, the fact that it's a standard release, and that it's Ahsoka Tano, one of the best characters in the franchise for me. All of that puts her almost at first place on this list. But there is another. The best Black Series figure of 2022 for me is actually the figure that at the time of recording this video I still don't have in hand, but I will, and that is Darth Maul from Clone Wars Season 7. This is the Maul version that we all were waiting for. Clone Wars Season 7 Darth Maul. We already had Season 7 Ahsoka, and we were missing this Maul to be able to display them together. So now the wait is over. This guy is finally here and he looks fantastic. This is almost a completely new sculpt. The head looks great. There is a soft plastic overlay so that it doesn't hinder the articulation. They made a new head with different expression, and those droid legs look amazing as well. Hasbro really did a great job on this figure. Another one that represents a character that a lot of fans love and a version that a lot of us wanted in our collection. And I'm fully aware that this being Darth Maul is one of the main reasons for this figure being number 1 of the year for me. All of the new releases have almost equally same amazing articulation and sculpt, so honestly either of them could have been a number 1. So don't be disappointed with this list if you disagree. It's just an opinion of one person. We all love what we love, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this was a fun year for collecting community. We did get a lot of great new releases, and I hope that you guys are happy. I have to say that all of these figures have or soon will have their posing videos on the channel. If some of them, Darth Maul, are still not there at the time of recording this video, no worries, I have them on pre-order, and it just means I still didn't get them, but I will. And when I do, I'll make those posing videos for you guys. Also, let me just mention that this is the first time I'm doing top 10 Black Series figures of the year video on this channel, and I hope to make one every year, of course. There will also be a top 10 action figures of 2022 by views video, and that's a completely different thing than this list. It's simply based on channel analytics provided by YouTube, but I think that it's kind of cool to see which videos you guys watched the most in the whole year. I did the same thing in 2021, and if you want, you can check it out on the channel. Until then, stay tuned for that next top 10 video. Thank you all for being here with me, for supporting the channel, and for helping me to continue making these videos for you. I hope you had a great 2022, and I hope that 2023 will be even better. I'll see you in the next video.